live right now?
Yeah.
I'm live. Everybody, welcome back to another episode of Guidance by Glazer. We took off the live variety a couple weeks ago, but much to the chagrin of my faithful audience who couldn't chime in during these live moments, we brought it back because we were recording the videos for better video quality, but now we're recording in HD. Are we recording in HD? We are recording in HD, and we're bringing you another episode of Guidance by Glazer, episode 15. We're just going to power through today. I wanted to bring you, however, a weekly update because we've had a really great week on the Glazer team. And one of the reasons I wanted to share with you the updates is to show you that the market is very healthy right now. We have a lot of customers who are in the buying and selling stages of real estate, and quite frankly, there's a lot of transaction volume happening on our team. So there are two things that we can filter from that. One, it's a healthy market, even though prices might have softened, even though it might be a little bit harder to get a transaction completed in this day and age, it is still happening. That's point number one. Point number two is who you work with matters, because maybe other agents aren't having the success that we are, but we are transacting quite a bit. I'll tell you about two new listings that we just launched this week. Both of them are the inspiration of today's topic, which is how can you tell if a home is going to sell quickly, and that is the two new listings are 35 Underhill Avenue. That's a 2-bedroom, 2-bath condominium with a huge terrace in Prospect Heights, which is a very happening part of Brooklyn, and we have a very, very charming 1-bedroom in probably the most amazing location, in my opinion, in New York City, and that is at 124 Thompson Street, so it's kind of the west part of Soho. It's very quiet and charming and great, and yet you're still in the thick of it. That's apartment 15, 1 bed, 1 bath, as I said. Reach out to us for more details. We will happily share with you. We are of the belief that those properties will sell very, very quickly, so we're excited about that. And again, that's the topic of our discussion today. And then we also put 2 buyers into contract this week, and these aren't small deals. We represented a buyer on a celeb-owned apartment in the East Village for under 2.6, so that's a 1 bed, 1 bath with a beautiful terrace, a totally unique property that is being sold for a premium. Our buyer was head over heels, and we were able to work through other bids to get that. And then a townhouse in Park Slope, we're working with a buyer who went into contract on a beautifully renovated turnkey townhome in the center of Park Slope, and that was also pretty competitive. So again, we are doing a lot of business here on the Glazer team. The market is healthy, at least for us. So reach out if you're interested in buying or selling. We'd love to help you and give you a sense of the market from our perspective. And we also put together one other deal, which was an off-market sale. So the reality is the off-market business in New York City has definitely picked up. We're working on our 3rd off-market transaction of the year. This one, we brought a buyer and a seller together, put them together, happy buyer, happy seller, and we were able to represent both sides, which happens very seldomly. So that was a unique transaction. We also put that one together. So jumping into how you can tell if a home is going to sell quickly, I'm going to give you 5 important pointers, 5 tips, so that you can pay attention if you're in the city and you want to get a sense of whether you think your home's going to move quickly, so that if it doesn't, if these 5 pointers don't materialize for your home, then perhaps you know you're in for the long haul and you might need a price amendment in the near future versus the long term. So, first one might sound a little obvious, but it is an important one, and if you have a broker representing you, you want them to give you this feedback after the first week, and that is how many inquiries do you have in that first week. As I've said on camera many times, the first few weeks of your exclusive period is the most important. It's really when you know where you're going to be in the market. It's when you're in dialogue with the market. It's when all of the people out there looking are going to give you feedback. Oftentimes, no feedback is the feedback you need. So when someone reaches out for an inquiry and says, hey, I'd like more information, or when can you show, or I just have a question, or hey, is this available? Any inquiry like that, that's a little touch point. That's a notch on the belt. If you get a ton of inquiries in the first week, that's usually a very good sign that your home is going to sell quickly. Another little quick tell, which is very New York City specific, is how many times has your property been saved on Street Easy? The reality is, if you have been on the market 5 or 6 days and you already have 70, 80, 90, 100 plus saves, you know that a lot of sets of eyes are looking at your property and they're saving it in their internal search. Every buyer I work with has notifications set up so that every morning they get pinged with a notification that fits their criteria. So that means that we have 70 or 80 people for our 2 new listings that we've listed this week who have saved the property. That means they have some intention of visiting it or reviewing it at some point during their search process. So obviously if we have 70 interested buyers, that's a very, very, very good indication we will sell the home quickly. The third is, did you get any press coverage? Now, not every home qualifies for press coverage, but the reality is 3 of the last 4 exclusives we've listed for sale have gotten press coverage. What does that mean? It means that something is either interesting about the property. To our credit, it means we've marketed the home well, we've exposed it well, we've given full transparency to the reporters out there to be able to absorb that information and repurpose it for their articles. So if you've gotten press coverage, it's usually a good sign that there's something exciting to those people who are looking at all of the listings across New York City at all times, and that they might want to use that listing to come up with a new article or just promote it because they think it's interesting. So that's also oftentimes a very good sign. Now, that's not a hard and fast rule, but again, we're just looking for the little tells, the little cheats here and there, so we know what might happen with your property. The fourth point is, of the people who made an inquiry, how many people are pushing hard to get in before the open house? The seasoned buyers out there know that oftentimes the first person in the door can be the victor. Now, that's not, again, a hard and fast rule, but it is something we often encounter, and in reality, when you get to that point, you might know that your home is going to sell quickly because people are just basically, proverbially, knocking down your door. They want to get in. When people say, we're very, very interested, that obviously translates to, we want to buy your home. So that's another good sign, right? There is a distinction between just someone saying, I'm interested in the property, send me more info, and someone who says, I want to get in, I need to get in, I need to get in before the open house, this is important to me. So when you are forced to accommodate showings before the first open house, if you can, not always in position to do so, that's usually a good indicator that your home is going to sell quickly. And my last point is, you know, it kind of falls back on you if you're selling yourself or your agent that you've hired, you know, taking an honest look at the price. So the last point is more of a philosophical or feel, right? It's a feel one. It's basically to say, how well do you think you are priced in this market? If you think you have a well-priced home and you've done everything that I know my team says it will do to get your home on the database and out in the open market and exposing it to the highest possible degree, i.e. the best possible marketing money can buy, then I'm confident that if we are getting the interest and we're priced well, because in my gut I feel like we are priced well because the science says we are priced well, then that is usually a good indication your home is going to sell quickly. The market, as I just indicated in my weekly update, is efficient, it is moving. So if you are priced well, you are likely to sell your home quickly. That is the most critical component and the most important tip I can offer you. So pricing well is usually the #1 giveaway for a home that's able to sell quickly. So that's my topic for today, folks. Thank you for joining us again live. You got to take it all in live, but please share, please comment, please let me know. I'm not wearing a sweater, I'm wearing a suit, so no sweater comments today. Haha, jokes on